All right, looks like Coach is with us, so we'll get started. We'll start with opening comments from Coach and then open up for questions.
Awesome. Thanks for being here. Excited about the week. Coming out last weekend, I thought there were some definite positives. Energy and enthusiasm, I thought was really good. We got a lot to clean up, a lot of penalties, a lot of things to clean up, going into this weekend. Obviously, we're going up to Monmouth to play a really good football team that, that they got a lot of guys back, honestly, from last year. Probably eight of 11 starters on defense. Majority of their guys on offense are back. They replaced the quarterback and running back. Quarterbacks, you wouldn't know he's a freshman the way he plays. I mean, he's athletic, he's sharp, he makes good decisions. The running back, we've seen it in 2018. He wasn't with them last year. He's a good player. So a lot of the same guys, really good football team. So we got to get ready, got to have a great week of preparation, like we talk about every week, and see if we can go put together 4 quarters of what we call Kennesaw State football, which has really been the goal, the whole way is to do that. So, and, here you got a chance to win a championship, and that's part of our goals here. And we got an opportunity to do that on Saturday. So a lot going on this week, but at the end of the day, we got to go out and prepare and get ourselves ready to go play, hopefully the best game we played all year. That will be the goal, and kind of go from there. So at this point, I open the floor for questions.
Hey, Coach, where are we on Jonathan Murphy? Is he going to be good to go this week?
Yeah, he's good to go.
How's he been doing? And I would assume that he's been doing okay in practice, but any issues, any concerns from the injury at all?
No. Like I said, he was available on Saturday. Now he was not 100% last week, but he was available on Saturday. But no, we've only had one practice, which was yesterday. But I think he's fine. He's good to go. So, we'll have both those guys ready to go, come Saturday.
You get a chance to play for a championship this week, and it's against the team that kept you from winning one last year. I would assume, you said that there were issues with urgency and getting that fire and all that. I would assume that this week there is no issue getting anybody pumped up and ready to play.
Well, if we have to go do that, we got problems. I think our kids understand where we are. This is things that, they decided to play in the spring because they want a chance to compete for a championship, and I think that's a credit to them, but that's the goals of our program. That's since we started in 2015, it hasn't really changed, and so I would think, I don't think, if they can't get ready to play for this one, then we got problems. So I don't think that'll be the case. I think it's going to be more about preparation and ability to go execute and sustain some consistency for 4 quarters. And listen, there's going to be a lot of one-on-one matchups in the game. You got to take care of the ball. It's all the things you hear about, it's, and every week, honestly, John, it's the same. That you're trying to go out and play your best football, minimize mistakes. And with this group, you're going to have to win some one-on-one matchups on both sides of the ball.
You mentioned earlier in your opening, talking about trying to clean up the penalties. It was a bad week for penalties on Saturday. I know that if it's an effort penalty, you're okay with it, but it seemed like there were more mental penalties this past game than normal. What did you say to the guys, and how are we cleaning that up?
Well, we attack it every week. So, there's come Monday after practice, everybody's held accountable for whatever penalties they had. And that hasn't changed. We've been doing that for a long time. I think it was a combination of things. I think the game was really chippy, and we lost. We kind of stooped to their level, right? So and it's always the second guy that gets called, and we were the second guy all day, So there was a group of penalties in that classification, which you can't do. I don't care what happens during the game, you can't do it. You just got to move on and go play snap to whistle and don't get caught up in that stuff. And then we had some mental things, along the way as well. We had 12 guys on the field one time on a field goal, and one of our kids just decided that he was going to go in for somebody else that had nothing to do with the substitution that we do every Friday night before a game. So I think those are things that there was definitely some mental stuff. There were some guys that got frustrated and didn't handle it well because of some of the things going on in the course of the game. And those are all things. And I told them, listen, one of those penalties can change the outcome of a game. So we got to clean that up. Now, in the same token, we brought some energy Saturday. We brought some stuff that was really, really good, and we can build on that. And there's a fine line on all that stuff. We brought some energy. We came out probably as emotionally ready to play as we've been all year. And that's a real positive, and that's stuff we got to build on going into this weekend.
Last thing for me, I noticed that each week this season, granted it's only been 4 games, but you've won the toss and deferred. And I know that you are you enjoy trying to score right before the end of the half in order to kind of double dip. But can you kind of go into the decision making? Why it seems like we're deferring every time, and I'm sure there are different reasons for it other than the double dip, weather and all that. How do you guys go about making that decision whether you're going to defer or accept the ball if you win the toss?
In all honesty, John, I think since we started at ETSU in 2015, I believe if we've won the toss, we've deferred every time. So it's not a lot of decision making for me. It's really easy. I grab whoever the captain is. I say we win the toss, defer. One, I have a lot of faith in our defense. 2, yes, you're correct. We take a lot of pride in scoring on our first drive. Going into halftime scoring, coming out of halftime scoring. We take a lot of pride in those things. And even Saturday, I was trying to work to get us about 50 seconds, and we had it, and then we ran into the punter, which was really just a poor decision. I mean, there's, and so, but yeah, I mean, but that's just the way we've been. It's really not a lot of decision making, to be honest with you. That's just kind of what we've done, and that's the approach we've taken. Obviously, I mean, certain circumstances may dictate you do something different, just game to game, but that's kind of just been what we've done. And it's worked for us. We for the most part, we've been able to manage that, in the right way. So I don't know, that's just kind of who we are, that's, and what you said is a lot for us. We're trying to score at the end of half, the beginning of the second half, and if you go look back over the years when we're really playing like we're supposed to, we've gotten pretty good at that.
Thanks, Coach.
Hey, Coach, have some questions for you today. Starting out with kind of going off of you saying your team started out so well. Was there anything that tipped you in warmups or that morning or the night before that your team was going to come out on fire?
This team's been a little harder to read, to be honest with you, than a lot of teams here. We've been pushing the envelope with as much motivation as we can during the week, which we do every week. I felt like they had a good look Saturday morning. I try to, when I get in front of them, and most of my talking's done before we ever get to the stadium, to be honest with you. I felt like we had a good look in our eye, and I could tell when we got out on the field, really when the game got going, that we were at a different place than we'd been all year. And it was just encouraging. It was, because just being honest, I've been a little frustrated with our ability to come out with a little, the right kind of energy and fight and all that. And it was good to see, man. I was, so we were having the penalties, but I was almost just so happy to see the other. I'm like, all right, I'm going to deal with this right now. We'll deal with this on Monday, because it was just, we haven't had it, but we did, and it showed up. If you watched us now, to me, it was very apparent. It was very obvious. And we've been preaching playing to our standard, playing what we call Kennesaw State football, and that's the way we've won here, playing extremely hard, a little chip on our shoulder, a little edge about us. And that's the way we got to play to win.
And it was pretty obvious in the sidelines too. That first third down for Robert Morris, It seemed like the whole sideline was up and cheering on the defense. Whether it's something you noticed in the game or you and your staff looked on film, was there anyone that really helped provide that spark on the sideline to get the guys juiced up?
I don't know because it's hard to see, and the stuff that goes on behind me during a game, I'll be honest, we have no idea. But it's been a challenge I tell the guys, it's not just the guys on the field. The guys on the sideline can bring energy as well. And the thing we got to do is there was a lot good early, but you'll notice late in the game on third down, you didn't see the same thing. So now the challenge is, can you do this for 4 quarters? We've struggled a little bit finishing. So now can you take that energy you're talking about, Nolan, on the sideline, on the field, and can you sustain that for 4 quarters? I think that's the challenge for us.
Upon reviewing the film for Xavier Shepard's start, what pleased you the most, and in what areas of his game did you encourage him to build on for this week?
Well, we had one exchange fumble. I think for the most part, he's doing a good job of taking care of the ball. I think that's huge. I think he's doing a good job throwing the football. We didn't throw it a ton, but you're 3 for 3. You got a touchdown. Huge conversion. So he's done a good job of that. He was not as good mentally Saturday as he was maybe the previous Saturday he played. He missed a lot of checks. I think being your first start, you get to thinking a lot and instead of just relaxing and playing your game. So, but honestly, he's won. And at the end of the day, when you're playing quarterback, if you can come out and win the game, that's huge. Because you got to do a lot right to win a game. You know what I mean? So I've been pleased with his performance coming in as a third-team quarterback. I think he's done some really good things, and it's been positive. It has. We knew he was going to have to play this year. We didn't know when, but to his credit, he's gotten himself ready and done some really good things. And he came in and helped us win the game before, and he started and basically played the whole game and won the game Saturday.
A couple things about Monmouth, Coach, and watching their 2 games, their 2 Big South games. It seems like this is a very opportunistic team. Whenever the other team coughed at the football or turned it over, they seem to capitalize more often than not. Hate to state the obvious, but do you get the sense this is a game that can come down to just a handful of plays?
Well, I think a lot of times it ends up that way. And I think, you talk to your football team, it's like, hey, you don't know what plays those are going to be. So you better be playing championship football every rep, and make sure you're taking care of your business. So they got a good football team. We know that. We've played them 5 times. So we know who they are, and they got the ability to strike and score and do things, in a quick fashion. So we got to get ready to play. Games like this could come down to 4 or 5 plays. They usually do. And I think the big thing is number one is you got to do your job, and you got to do it with championship heat, and you got to do it on a consistent basis. It's like, don't beat yourself. The opponent's one thing, but you got to take care of yourself first. And that's what we've been preaching all season. In preparation is let's go take care of ourselves first, and hopefully the rest will take care of itself.
Lastly, for me, Coach, how have you and your staff embraced for what's going to be a fun Saturday, a championship Saturday, and trying to prepare for that all week?
Well, we know what's at stake. The thing about what we do here is we prepare the same way every week. So, I think it was asking me a week ago, well, how do you go win the conference championship? Well, you win it the same way you win any game. You go put a plan together, you go prepare, you have great preparation, you have detail and preparation, and you go execute that at a high level for 4 quarters. That gives you a chance, and that's no different than any other game we play. So, and I'm not minimizing, but we approach it the same way. It's not like, all of a sudden we're having different meetings or doing something different. We have a routine of the way we do things. We go approach it the same manner. Our kids understand what's going on. We understand what's going on. But at the end of the day, we have a routine of the way we go about our business. And we've been trying to fine tune that in the spring because things have just been different, and there has been no routine. So, but I think we're in a place now, we've kind of gotten in a little bit of a groove, and hopefully that'll carry over to Saturday.
Anything else for Coach? Coach, thanks for your time. We appreciate it. Good luck on Saturday.
All right. Thanks, guys.